The Galactic Council met in their great hall. Hundreds of alien leaders from across the galaxy sat in tiered seats. The hall was quiet as Counselor Zithara stood to speak. She was tall, with blue skin that seemed to glow under the soft lights. Her 4 eyes blinked slowly as she looked at the other council members. "We must talk about the humans," she said. Her voice was clear and strong in the large space. "Our observers have watched Earth for many years. Humans are different from any species we have found before." Many council members shifted in their seats. Some whispered to each other. Earth was just a small planet in a far corner of the galaxy. Why should they worry about it? Zithara touched a control panel and a large image of Earth appeared above the center of the hall. The blue and green planet slowly turned, showing clouds swirling across its surface. Humans look simple. Their technology is young. They have only just begun to explore their own solar system, Zithara continued. But do not let this fool you. They are perhaps the most dangerous species we have ever discovered. This caught everyone's attention. The whispers stopped. In just 300 years, humans went from simple steam machines to walking on their moon. No other species has developed so quickly, Zithara explained. She showed images of human history, old trains, early cars, the first planes, and then rockets reaching into space. But it is not just their technology that makes them dangerous. It is how they think, she said. Humans adapt faster than any species we know. When faced with problems, they find new solutions. When blocked, they find ways around. They never stop trying. The council saw more images. Humans living in deserts, in frozen lands, in mountains, and on small islands in vast oceans. And they are fighters, Zithara added. The images changed to show human wars. They fight each other over land, beliefs, and resources. If threatened, they become more dangerous, not less. They unite against outside threats. Admiral Krenvak of the Vorax Empire snorted loudly. He was large with rough gray skin and sharp teeth that showed when he spoke. The Vorax were known as warriors across the galaxy. "You speak of primitives with simple weapons," he said. "My scouts report they have not even mastered faster-than-light travel. What threat could they pose to advanced species like us?" Zithara looked directly at the Admiral. That is exactly the thinking that makes humans dangerous. Everyone underestimates them. "The Vorax Empire has conquered 50 solar systems," Krenvak boasted. "We do not fear creatures who have barely left their own planet." "Then you have not? Listen to what I am saying," Zithara replied calmly. "I officially recommend that all contact with Earth be avoided for at least another 100 years. Let them develop more slowly. Let them join the galactic community when they are ready." The council voted. Most agreed with Zithara. Earth was classified as high-risk engagement, a planet to be watched but not contacted. As the meeting ended, Krenvak approached Zithara. "Your warnings are noted, Counselor," he said with a smile that showed his sharp teeth. "But the Vorax Empire needs new resources. Earth's solar system has many untapped planets and asteroids. We will be careful. The humans will never even know we are there." Zithara's 4 eyes narrowed. "I have given my warning, Admiral. What you do with it is your choice. But remember my words when you meet these humans." Krenvak laughed and walked away. Behind him, Zithara watched with worry in her eyes. She had studied humans for centuries. She knew what they were capable of when pushed, and she feared that the Vorax were about to make a terrible mistake. The Vorax scout ship moved slowly through the darkness of space. It was large and gray with sharp edges that made it look like a predator. Captain Drool stood on the bridge, his yellow eyes fixed on the screen that showed the planet Mars. "Perfect," he said to his crew. "The humans have only a small base on this red planet. Our scans show just 20 of them there. They will not notice when we begin mining operations on the far side." The Vorax ship used special technology that made it invisible to most sensors. Captain Drool was confident that the primitive humans would never know they were there. His mission was simple: set up mining machines on Mars, collect valuable minerals, and leave before anyone noticed. "Begin landing preparations," he ordered. "We will set down in the large crater beyond there." "Bazi, far away on Earth's moon," Commander Leo Harrison yawned as he walked into the control room of Luna Base. He had been stationed on the moon for 6 months now. Most days were quiet, just routine checks of equipment and reports to send back to Earth. "Good morning, Lieutenant," he said to Samantha Ellis, who sat at the main control panel. "Anything interesting happening today?" Lieutenant Ellis was about to say no when a light began flashing on her screen. She frowned and leaned closer. "Sir, I'm getting strange readings near Mars," she said. "It doesn't match any of our ships or satellites." Harrison put down his coffee cup and moved to look at her screen. "What kind of readings?" "Energy patterns we've never seen before," Ellis explained. "Something is disturbing the space around Mars, but I can't see what's causing it." What they didn't know was that Earth scientists had recently improved their space detection systems. These new sensors could detect tiny changes in space itself, even when they couldn't see what caused those changes. By accident, they had created a way to detect the Vorax cloaking technology. Harrison pressed a button on the control panel. "This is Luna Base calling Mars Outpost Alpha. Are you detecting any unusual activity in your area?" After a moment, a voice responded. "Luna Base, this is Dr. Ben Wilson at Mars Outpost Alpha. We haven't seen anything unusual. What are you picking up?" "We're not sure yet," Harrison replied. "But stay alert. We're seeing something strange near your position." Harrison then followed the new first contact protocol that Earth's governments had created just 3 years before. If anything unexplained was detected in space, they would send a standard greeting message on all frequencies, while also alerting Earth's defense forces. "Lieutenant Ellis, send the greeting package toward those coordinates," he ordered. "And contact Space Command immediately." Ellis nodded and pressed several buttons. A message in multiple languages and mathematical formulas, Earth's attempt to communicate with any intelligent life, was sent directly toward the strange readings. On the Vorax ship, alarms suddenly sounded. Captain Drool jumped up from his chair. "What is happening?" he demanded. "Captain, we are receiving a transmission," his communications officer said with surprise. "It's coming from the humans. They are sending it directly to us." "Impossible," Drool shouted. "Our ship is cloaked. They cannot see us." "The message is coming through on our secure military channel," the officer added with growing concern. "Somehow they have accessed frequencies that only the Vorax should know about." Captain Drool's face darkened. "Show me this message." The screen filled with strange symbols and patterns. It was the human greeting, but to the Vorax it looked like the humans had somehow broken their most secret military codes. "Cancel the landing," Drool ordered. "We need to report this to Admiral Krenvak immediately. These humans are not as primitive as we thought." As the Vorax ship moved away from Mars, Lieutenant Ellis watched the strange readings fade from her screen. Whatever it was, "It's gone now," she told Commander Harrison. Harrison nodded slowly. "For now, but something tells me it will be back." Admiral Krenvak slammed his fist on the table. The hologram of Captain Drool flinched even though he was millions of miles away. They were in the middle of a secure communication, and the Admiral was not happy. "You returned because of a simple message," Krenvak growled. His sharp teeth showed as he spoke. "I expected better from you, Captain." "Admiral, you don't understand," Drool said. "The humans should not have been able to detect us at all. Our ship was fully cloaked, and somehow they sent their message on our secure military frequencies." Krenvak paused. This was strange. His experts had studied human technology for years and said it was very basic. They had radio, simple computers, and rockets that could barely reach their own planets. They should not be able to see through Vorax cloaking technology or access Vorax communication channels. Could they have help from another species? Krenvak wondered aloud. "Unknown, sir," Drool replied. "But something is not right. The reports about human technology must be wrong." Krenvak thought for a moment. He remembered Counselor Zithara's warnings about humans being dangerous and unpredictable. But he also thought about how the Vorax Empire needed the rare minerals found in the human solar system. His superiors would not accept failure. "Listen carefully, Captain," Krenvak said. "I am sending 4 more ships to join you. When they arrive, you will return to Mars. If the humans try to interfere, destroy their base. We need those resources, and we will not be stopped by primitives who got lucky once. Yes, Admiral, Captain Drool said, though he looked worried. 4 days later, 5 Vorax ships approached Mars. This time they did not use their cloaking technology. Captain Drool had decided it was useless against the humans. Instead, they came, fast and ready for battle. Sir, we have multiple objects approaching Mars at high speed, Lieutenant Ellis told Commander Harrison at Luna Base. They appear to be ships, but nothing like ours. Harrison's heart beat faster. After the strange readings a few days ago, Earth's Space Command had been on alert. Now it seemed their caution was justified. Contact Mars Outpost Alpha, Harrison ordered. Tell them to activate their emergency protocols. On Mars, Dr. Catherine Green was in the middle of analyzing soil samples when the alarm sounded. She rushed to the communication room where Dr. Ben Wilson was trying to contact Earth. Earth Space Command, this is Mars Outpost Alpha, Wilson said urgently. We have visual confirmation of 5 unknown vessels approaching our position. They are not responding to our signals. Please advise. Before Earth could respond, the first blast hit. The ground shook and warning lights flashed throughout the base. They're attacking us, Green shouted. She ran to the emergency console and pressed the red button that would send their distress beacon. This special signal would reach Earth in minutes, much faster than normal communications. The Vorax ships surrounded the Mars base. Their weapons easily broke through the thin dome that protected the humans from the harsh Martian environment. The human base is disabled, a Vorax officer reported to Captain Drool. No signs of resistance. Drool nodded. Begin landing the mining equipment. We need to work quickly before their home planet responds. Back on Earth, General William Norris burst into the emergency meeting room at Space Command headquarters. His face was grim as he faced the room full of military leaders and government officials. Ladies and gentlemen, he said, 10 minutes ago, our Mars base sent out a distress signal before going silent. Luna Base confirms that 5 unknown vessels attacked the outpost. He paused, letting the news sink in. We are not alone in the universe, and our first visitors are hostile. The room was silent for a moment. Then a woman stood up. She was Ellen Parker, the President's National Security Advisor. General Norris, she said, activate the Artemis Protocol. Norris nodded slowly. For 15 years, Earth had been secretly preparing for this possibility. They had built ships and weapons that the public knew nothing about, using technology that pushed the limits of human science. Yes, ma'am, Norris replied. God help us all. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a secret base that did not exist on any public map, the Artemis fleet waited. 6 ships, each looking more like sleek silver arrows than traditional spacecraft, sat in massive underground hangars. For 15 years, the best scientists from around the world had worked on these vessels, combining normal human technology with ideas from strange signals they had detected from deep space. Captain Olivia Rodriguez walked quickly through the base as alarm sounded. She had trained for this day her entire career, though part of her had hoped it would never come. All pilots to your ships, a voice announced over the speakers. This is not a drill. Repeat, this is not a drill. Rodriguez reached her ship, the EDS Valiant. EDS stood for Earth Defense Ship. Her crew was already boarding, their faces serious but calm. They had practiced this thousands of times. Captain, on deck, her first officer Paul Grant announced as she entered the bridge. Status report, Rodriguez said as she took her seat. All systems ready, Grant replied. The other 5 ships report ready as well. We're just waiting for the launch order. On a screen, General Norris appeared. His face looked older than it had just hours before. Captain Rodriguez, you've heard about Mars, he said. It wasn't a question. Yes, sir, she replied. My crew is ready. The enemy ships are still at Mars. They appear to be setting up mining equipment. They don't know we're coming. Norris paused. Your orders are to protect what's left of our Mars base and capture one of their ships if possible. We need to know who they are and why they attacked us. Understood, sir, Rodriguez said. One more thing, Captain, Norris added. The President has authorized the use of the shield-penetrating weapons. Use them if necessary. Rodriguez nodded. The shield-penetrating weapons were their biggest secret. By studying faint alien signals, Earth scientists had figured out that most advanced species used energy shields based on certain physical principles. They had then designed weapons that operated on completely different principles, which could pass right through those shields. Good luck, Captain, Norris said. Humanity is counting on you. The mountain above the base split open, revealing the blue sky above. One by one, the ships of the Artemis fleet rose into the air, moved higher and higher, and then shot toward space faster than any public spacecraft ever had. At Mars, the Vorax were busy. Their mining machines drilled into the red soil, searching for the valuable minerals they needed. Captain Drool watched from the bridge of his ship, pleased with how smoothly the operation was going. Captain, his sensor officer suddenly called out, we're detecting 6 objects approaching from Earth. Drool smiled. So, the humans are sending ships to defend their little base. Show me. The screen lit up with images of the approaching Earth ships. They were smaller than Vorax vessels and looked simple in design. They will be no match for our weapons and shields, Drool said confidently. Prepare to destroy them when they get closer. Admiral Krenvak watched from his command ship, which stayed farther back. He was curious to see how humans fought. The Earth ships approached faster than the Vorax expected. They moved with surprising speed and grace. They will be in weapon range in 30 seconds, the Vorax weapons officer reported. Fire when ready, Drool ordered. Show these humans the power of the Vorax Empire. The Vorax ships fired energy beams at the approaching Earth vessels. To their shock, the human ships easily dodged the beams, moving in ways that seemed impossible for their size. How are they moving like that? Drool demanded. Before anyone could answer, the Earth ships fired their own weapons. Strange missiles shot toward the Vorax ships. The Vorax activated their energy shields, expecting the missiles to explode harmlessly against them. Instead, the missiles passed right through the shields as if they weren't there. They hit the hulls of 3 Vorax ships, causing explosions and serious damage. Impossible, Krenvak shouted as he watched. Their weapons went through our shields. Captain Rodriguez's voice came through on all frequencies, broadcasting to the alien ships. Attention unknown vessels. This is Captain Olivia Rodriguez of the Earth Defense Ship Valiant. You have attacked a peaceful Earth outpost without provocation. Surrender now, or we will be forced to destroy your ships. The battle over Mars did not last long. 2 Vorax ships exploded into bright balls of fire and metal. 3 others were badly damaged. Only Admiral Krenvak's command ship managed to escape, jumping into hyperspace with its engines smoking. Captain Rodriguez stood on the bridge of the Valiant, watching as her crew secured one of the damaged Vorax ships. We've taken 20 Vorax prisoners, Paul Grant reported. Their medical needs are being seen to now. What about our people on Mars? Rodriguez asked. 3 dead from the initial attack, Grant said sadly. The rest are safe but shaken. The base is badly damaged, but our engineers are already working on repairs. Rodriguez nodded. The victory felt hollow with the loss of human lives. She turned to look at the main screen where the captured Vorax ship floated in space, surrounded by Earth vessels. I want to meet their captain, she said. Captain Drool sat in a small room aboard the Valiant. His gray skin looked pale, and one arm was bandaged where he had been injured during the battle. He looked up as the door opened and Captain Rodriguez entered. I am Captain Olivia Rodriguez of the Earth Defense Fleet, she said, sitting across from him. And you are? Drool hesitated, then answered, Captain Drool of the Vorax Empire. Why did you attack our Mars base? Rodriguez asked. We needed resources, Drool said simply. Your system has many valuable minerals. We did not expect significant resistance from such a primitive species. Rodriguez raised an eyebrow. Primitive? Yet we defeated your ships quite easily. You have technology you should not have, Drool said angrily. Your weapons passed through our shields. That should be impossible. Perhaps you underestimated us, Rodriguez replied. Meanwhile, Admiral Krenvak's damaged ship limped back to Vorax, space. His face was dark with anger and shame as he contacted the Vorax High Command. "The humans defeated 5 of our ships," he reported. "Their technology is far more advanced than our intelligence suggested. They have weapons that can penetrate our shields." The Vorax Supreme Commander, a large female with battle scars across her face, looked displeased. "This is unacceptable, Admiral. The resources in the human system are vital to our expansion plans." "I recommend we send the Dreadnought fleet," Krenvak said. "The humans may have some advanced weapons, but they cannot stand against our planet killers." The Supreme Commander nodded slowly. "Approved. Take the Dreadnought fleet and return to the human system. If they resist again, destroy their home planet. That should end any further problems." Back on Earth, in the White House Situation Room, General Norris briefed the President and her advisors on the battle at Mars. "Our ships performed beyond expectations," he said. "The shield-penetrating weapons worked perfectly. We captured 1 enemy ship and 20 prisoners." "What have we learned about them?" the President asked. "They call themselves the Vorax," Norris replied. "They're a warrior species with an empire spanning 50 star systems. They came to our system for resources and didn't expect us to be able to defend ourselves effectively." Ellen Parker, the National Security Advisor, spoke up. "The problem is what happens next. Our intelligence suggests they'll return with a much larger force." The President looked grave. "What are our options?" "We've started deploying Project Swarm," Parker said. "It's our best hope against a larger attack." In a secret facility in Nevada, Major Daniel Powell oversaw the launch of thousands of small satellites. Each one was about the size of a microwave oven and contained minimal weapons and shield technology. Alone, each satellite was almost harmless. But they were designed to work together, linked by advanced AI systems. "Swarm units 1 through 500 are in orbit," a technician reported to Powell. "Units 501 through 1000 launching now." Powell nodded as he watched the screens showing the small satellites rising into space on rockets, launched from sites around the world. The plan was to have over 10,000 of these units in orbit within 3 days. "Will it be enough?" asked his assistant, a young lieutenant named Amy Foster. "It has to be," Powell replied, "because according to our alien prisoner, the Vorax don't give up easily. And next time, they'll send their biggest ships." Far away from Earth and the growing conflict with the Vorax, the Galactic Council was in emergency session. Counselor Zithara stood at the center of the Great Hall, her blue skin glowing with stress. "The Vorax have attacked the human system," she announced, "just as I warned they might." Murmurs spread through the hall. Many council members looked worried. The Vorax were known troublemakers, but open attacks on developing worlds were forbidden by council law. "How did the humans respond?" asked an elder counselor with 6 arms and silver skin. Zithara's 4 eyes blinked slowly. "They defended themselves. Successfully." This caused even more murmurs and surprised looks. The council members knew that humans were primitive compared to most galactic species. They should not have been able to defeat Vorax warships. "Our observers report that the humans have technology that should be beyond their capabilities," Zithara continued. "Somehow they have developed weapons that can penetrate Vorax shields." "Impossible," said one counselor. "Their science is too young." "And yet, it happened," Zithara replied. "The humans captured a Vorax ship and took prisoners. 3 of their people died in the initial attack." The head of the council, a tall being named Zorl, raised a hand for silence. "What are the Vorax planning now?" "Our sources indicate they are sending their dreadnought fleet to the human system," Zithara said grimly. "They intend to destroy Earth." Gasps filled the room. Dreadnought ships were planet killers, designed to reduce worlds to molten rock. Using them against a developing species was strictly forbidden. "We must intervene," Zorl decided. "I will send Ambassador Elon in our fastest diplomatic vessel. Perhaps we can stop this before it goes too far." Near Jupiter, Admiral Krenvak watched as his new fleet gathered. 5 massive dreadnought ships, each big enough to hold an entire city, moved into formation. Around them, 20 smaller warships waited for orders. This was the largest fleet the Vorax had sent anywhere in years. The humans will learn the price of defying the Vorax Empire, Krenvok said to his officers. Their primitive weapons may have surprised us once, but they cannot stand against the might of our dreadnoughts. His new second-in-command, Captain Larn, looked less certain. Admiral, perhaps we should consider what Counselor Zithara said about the humans. They have already proven more dangerous than expected. Krenvok glared at him. Are you afraid of primitive beings who have barely left their own planet? I am cautious of any enemy that can defeat 5 of our warships, Larn replied carefully. The dreadnoughts are different, Krenvok insisted. Their shields are 10 times stronger. Their weapons can crack a planet's crust. The humans have nothing that can match that. On Earth, humanity prepared for the coming attack. Major Powell's Project Swarm was nearly complete. 12,000 small satellites now orbited Earth, controlled by advanced AI systems. The swarm is ready, Powell reported, to General Norris. Each unit is small and has minimal weapons, but together they can adapt to any attack pattern. If the enemy destroys some units, the others will learn and change their approach. Norris nodded. And the Artemis fleet? Repaired and ready, Powell said. Captain Rodriguez reports all 6 ships at full fighting strength. It won't be enough, Ellen Parker said as she entered the room. The National Security Advisor looked tired but determined. Our Vorax prisoner says they're sending dreadnoughts, planet-killer ships. Norris's face paled. Then we need to evacuate as many people as possible to the underground shelters. Already started, Parker confirmed. But there's something else. The Vorax prisoner mentioned the Galactic Council. Apparently, there's a governing body for the advanced species in our galaxy, and they have laws against attacking developing worlds like ours. Fat lot of good those laws did us, Norris muttered. Maybe, but it gives us another option, Parker said. We've been broadcasting messages into deep space trying to contact this council, if they intervene. Powell shook his head. We can't count on help from aliens we've never even met. We need to defend ourselves. And we will, Parker agreed, but I believe in exploring all options. In the depths of space, a sleek silver ship moved faster than any vessel the humans or Vorax possessed. Inside, Ambassador Elon of the Galactic Council studied reports about both species. Hurry, he told his pilot. We must reach the human system before the dreadnoughts arrive, or there may not be an Earth left to save. The Vorax dreadnought fleet arrived at the edge of Earth's solar system. The massive ships moved slowly but with purpose, their dark hulls blocking out the stars behind them. Admiral Krenvok stood proudly on the bridge of the lead dreadnought. Begin. Approach to the human planet, he ordered. Weapons to full power. The fleet moved past Neptune, then Uranus, making their way toward Earth. Krenvok expected the humans to attack when they reached Mars, but nothing happened. This made him nervous. They must be planning something, Captain Larn said quietly. The humans would not simply wait for destruction. Their plans don't matter, Krenvok replied. Nothing can stand against 5 dreadnoughts. On Earth, all eyes watched the approaching alien fleet. In the Space Command Center, General Norris and his team tracked every movement. They'll be in range in 2 hours, an officer reported. Norris nodded grimly. Activate the swarm, Captain. Rodriguez, move the Artemis fleet into position behind the moon. Wait for my signal to attack. Major Powell activated Project Swarm with a simple command. 12,000 small satellites, previously dormant, suddenly came to life. Their tiny engines lit up as they began to move, forming patterns around Earth like a protective net. Swarm is active and responding, Powell confirmed. The AI is already analyzing the Vorax ships and looking for weaknesses. Ellen Parker entered the command center with a woman no one recognized. She had copper-colored skin and wore a simple uniform with no rank or country markings. General Norris, this is Ambassador Nicole Alvarez, Parker introduced. She will represent Earth if we make contact with the Galactic Council. Norris looked surprised. I wasn't aware we had an ambassador for alien relations. It's a recent appointment, Alvarez said with a small smile. Until last week I was working at the United Nations on international treaties. Now I'm preparing for interstellar ones. Before Norris could respond, alarms sounded throughout the command center. "Sir, new ship detected," an officer called out. "It's coming in fast, but it's not Vorax. Different design completely." On the main screen, they saw a sleek silver ship appear at the edge of the solar system. It moved with incredible speed, much faster than either human or Vorax vessels. "It's broadcasting on all frequencies," the communications officer reported. They identified themselves as the Galactic Council. Ambassador Elon's ship reached the solar system just as the Vorax fleet was approaching Mars. He immediately broadcast a message to both the humans and the Vorax. "This is Ambassador Elon of the Galactic Council. By authority of the Council, I order an immediate ceasefire. Vorax forces are to withdraw from this system immediately. This developing world is under Council protection." Admiral Krenvac received the message with rage. "Ignore it," he ordered his fleet. "The Council has no authority over the Vorax Empire." But Captain Larn looked concerned. "Admiral, defying a direct Council order could have serious consequences for our Empire. Our mission is to secure resources and punish these humans," Krenvac insisted. "Continue the approach." Ambassador Elon's ship moved to position itself between the Vorax fleet and Earth. "Admiral Krenvac," Elon broadcast again. "Your attack on a developing world violates our most sacred laws. Withdraw now or face Council sanctions." On Earth, Ambassador Alvarez worked quickly to establish communication with the Council ship. "Ambassador Elon, this is Ambassador Nicole Alvarez representing Earth. We welcome the Council's intervention, but we are prepared to defend ourselves if necessary." Elon was surprised to receive such a formal and proper response from a supposedly developing world. His ship's systems showed the extensive defense network the humans had created, the swarm satellites and the hidden Artemis fleet. This level of preparation was unexpected. "Ambassador Alvarez," Elon replied, "the Council wishes to prevent further bloodshed. We had no idea your world was so prepared for contact." "We've been listening to the stars for decades," Alvarez explained. "We picked up enough signals to know we weren't alone. Rather than announcing ourselves, we chose to prepare." Elon was shocked. Most species took centuries or even millennia to reach this level of advancement after discovering they weren't alone in the universe. Humans had done it in mere decades. Meanwhile, the Vorax fleet continued its approach, ignoring the Council ship. Admiral Krenvac was determined to attack, regardless of Council laws. "Earth defenses," he broadcast. "Surrender now or be destroyed. You have 10 minutes to decide." 10 minutes passed quickly. Admiral Krenvac stood on his bridge, watching the countdown reach 0. "The humans have not surrendered," Captain Larn reported. "Then they have chosen destruction," Krenvac said. "All ships, fire on the human planet." The 5 dreadnoughts charged their main weapons, huge cannons aimed at Earth ready to crack the planet's surface. But before they could fire, Earth struck first. The swarm satellites suddenly moved, forming new patterns around the Vorax ships. Thousands of small energy beams shot out, hitting the dreadnoughts from all directions at once. "They're targeting our shield generators," a Vorax officer shouted. Krenvac looked surprised. "How do they know where our shield generators are located?" The answer came when the 6 ships of the Artemis fleet appeared from behind the moon. They fired their shield-penetrating weapons directly at the weak points the swarm had found. Shields failing on dreadnoughts 2 and 4, Larn reported, his voice showing fear for the first time. On the Valiant, Captain Rodriguez watched her display as the human forces attacked in perfect coordination. The swarm worked like a single mind, finding weaknesses and adjusting to the Vorax defenses. The Artemis fleet followed up with precise, powerful strikes. "Target their weapons systems next," she ordered. The battle was unlike anything the Vorax had seen before. Their massive ships, designed to destroy whole planets, could not hit the small, fast-moving swarm units. And when they tried to target the Artemis ships, those vessels easily dodged the slow-moving dreadnought weapons. 2 dreadnoughts lost power completely. A third spun out of control, its engines damaged. The smaller Vorax ships tried to protect the remaining dreadnoughts, but they were overwhelmed by the coordinated human attack. From his ship, Ambassador Elon watched with amazement. "Stop this at once," he broadcast to both sides. But neither listened. The Vorax fought desperately while the humans pressed their advantage. Finally, Admiral Krenvak's flagship, the last functioning dreadnought, sent out a message. "We surrender," came the simple transmission. The human forces immediately stopped firing but maintained their positions around the damaged Vorax fleet. 3 days later, representatives from Earth, the Vorax Empire, and the Galactic Council met on Ambassador Elon's neutral ship. General Norris and Ambassador Alvarez represented Earth. Admiral Krenvak, looking defeated, represented the Vorax. Ambassador Elon led the discussions. "The humans have proven they can defend themselves," Elon stated. "The Council officially recognizes Earth as a spacefaring civilization with all rights under galactic law." Krenvak growled but said nothing. His empire had lost 5 dreadnoughts, ships that had taken years to build. "The Vorax Empire will pay for damages to the Mars base and the loss of human lives," Elon continued. "And they will withdraw from this solar system immediately." "We accept these terms," Krenvak said through clenched teeth. Ambassador Alvarez spoke next. "Earth wishes to establish peaceful relations with the Galactic Council and all its member species. We have prepared for this day, but we still have much to learn." Elon looked at her curiously. "How did your people advance so quickly? Most species take thousands of years to reach where you are now." "Necessity," Alvarez replied simply. "Once we realized we weren't alone, we knew we needed to be ready." 5 years passed. Earth had changed dramatically since first contact. Alien visitors now walked the streets of special international zones. Human ships traveled to nearby star systems using technology shared by friendly alien species. Captain Jacob Mills stood on the bridge of the EDS Explorer, Earth's first official diplomatic vessel. It was built using a combination of human innovation and alien technology. "Course set for Galactic Central," his navigator reported. "We'll arrive for the council meeting in 3 days." Mills nodded. The Explorer carried important passengers, Earth's delegation to the Galactic Council. After 5 years of proving themselves as a responsible spacefaring species, humans had been invited to join the Council itself. On the Council homeworld, Councilor Zithara prepared to speak at the historic meeting. She had watched humans closely since their dramatic entrance onto the galactic stage. The question was never if humans would join us among the stars, she would tell the assembled representatives. It was always when and on whose terms. They refused to be limited by what others thought possible. And in doing so, they have already begun to change our galaxy for the better. Admiral Krenvak, now retired from military service, would be there, too. He had learned the hard way what the Council had tried to tell him from the beginning. Never underestimate humans.